The back-to-school dilemma. I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Today on Upfront, starting the school year during a pandemic. How do districts keep teachers, kids, and parents safe? I'll ask Milwaukee Superintendent Dr. Keith Posley. That's coming up next on Upfront. Then the importance of wearing a mask.
Masks have really emerged as one of our most important tools.
Are people coming around to that idea? And Safe Vote Milwaukee, the city's new election director, on the big push to boost absentee voting.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
Thank you for joining us. It's the question facing educators and parents all over Wisconsin: how to safely get kids back to school during COVID-19. It's up to individual districts themselves to decide how to proceed, and there are really no easy answers. The largest district in the state, Milwaukee Public Schools, is opting for a phased approach. Phase 1, to begin in just a few weeks, would be all virtual learning at home to last 30 to 45 days. Phase 2 would be a combination of virtual and in-person instruction with students in small groups. Phase 3, finally, would be a return to classroom instruction face-to-face 5 days a week once it's deemed safe for students to return to school buildings. The Milwaukee School Board passed the plan at a meeting Thursday night, and we're talking about this now with MPS Superintendent Dr. Keith Posley. Thank you for being with us. So your plan says that students and teachers will go back to school fully in person when coronavirus is no longer a threat. How will you decide that it's no longer a threat?
Well, first of all, there is a number of things that will go into the decision. Some of the things that we are looking at is the downward trend of the rate of infection on that 14-day scale, looking at what that looked like, working with our health experts within the city, the state, and also looking at what the CDC has around that particular piece as well, coupled with the whole thing around our school facilities, our buildings, making sure that they are clean and making sure that we have disinfective and sanitized stations that are going on in our schools as well, along with signage and things of that nature and ventilation in our school buildings. So we have a number of those kinds of things that we're pulling together in a gating criteria, so that we can look at benchmarks of what we will need to do and know where we are when we are ready to move forward from phase to phase.
What do you recommend to parents and guardians who are trying to keep up with the phases of this plan, especially considering a lot of child care programs are closing?
Well, one of the things I would say is that we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that communication is crystal clear as we go through the phases, and all of the things that we offer as a school community on how we go about supporting families.
The president is pressuring schools to go back in person. Is there any concern about losing funding, considering this phase plan will cost, I think, about $90 million?
Our concern is, number one and foremost, our children, our staff, and our community. Making sure that they are safe and healthy, that is paramount. And we are doing everything in that vein. And we are going to offer virtual education to all of our young people and with academic rigor.
Have you heard anything from the governor at all in terms of guidance and what he would like to see from MPS?
Yes, I am constantly in communication with the governor, the state superintendent, as well as the mayor around those efforts. And he has really laid out and made it clear that it's a local school decision, and basically for us to do what is right for young people.
And Superintendent, catch us up on where the district stands in terms of making sure that families truly have the technology they need to do this at-home learning.
Well, the district this spring went through and placed a survey into the hands of all of our families within the city. And what we found through that survey, that 30% of our families like connectivity, internet services. And so what we have done is to prepare the way for this particular piece is to go out to work with philanthropy, to work with state and local officials around making sure that we have connectivity for all of our young people. We have purchased hotspots and we're ready to go. The Milwaukee Public Schools Foundation has a fundraiser going for connectivity as well to help further the cost of making sure that all of our young people have connectivity and are able to access the internet at any given time.
MPS already has a huge achievement gap, unfortunately. How are you going to make sure that when students do eventually go back to school in person, that they're not really behind? I know not only parents are worried about this, but teachers are worried about this too.
But that's one of the things that we did through this reopening roadmap to readiness, is to make sure that we engage all of our stakeholders, all of the stakeholders in the community. We've been talking and working with our teachers, our principals, our community members, school leaders, organizations around the city, coming together around just that. And we have laid out a robust schedule for teachers and staff to follow. We have also looked at what do we need to do around making sure that, we have the summer slide, and then you could even say spring slide. But what do we need to do to make sure we meet our students where they are? Also knowing that we are doing everything based on standards. And so therefore knowing and making sure children are able to master standards in content areas, and making sure that we know where we left off with learning, and looking back at any type of anecdotal records and data that we have to make sure that we build those safety nets around young people so that they can truly be successful.
Well, Dr. Posley, we are certainly wishing all of the students and staff success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another election is right around the corner. Later on Up Front, Milwaukee's new push to get people to vote by mail. But first, experts say the COVID-19 trend lines are going in the wrong direction in Wisconsin. The state's top doctor on breaking the chain of transmission. That's next on Up Front.